what's going to happen to him after. And then as I was going through my ex, I get the news that as was being rushed to the hospital. He passed on. It was very sad for me. I was in the house alone. It was very sad for me because I've seen him officiate different games. And actually, it wasn't even supposed to officiate that game that day. He wasn't on the officials of
Oh,
of, of,
really?
of, of that game that day. Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't. He just replaced someone who had officiated the Villa game earlier, like the previous game of Villa. So they were like, people might think like this guy is only officiating Villa games. So let's replace him with this one. And of course he had to let me be there for let me do the job because I've been assigned task at a later date. So
Wow.
that's another shocking thing because when one of the refs was being interviewed, I think that very day, he said such things happen once in a while, like in over 30 games can happen once. And of course that happened. So
Did you have
it was
the
really
reason
sad.
for
It was
for it?
heartbreaking. Uh no, actually the reporters is not yet out. I'm still waiting for that report. I'm following up on everything, but I haven't seen any report from anyone as of yet here. But it was really sad for the sports fraternity in football. And yesterday, when I was watching some interview on one of the TV stations, I got to know that they didn't give the person is it called CPR, that thing when someone gets a cardiac arrest. There's where the doctors rush and do that. They didn't do that to that person. I was like, this is real sad for us.
Wow.
In Ugandan sports, it has happened to it has happened to an assistant referee. It might
Before?
happen to a player. So those ambulances have to have everything
Stocked.
of the first aid stocked, because this is an eye opener to everyone.
Exactly.
It has opened the eyes of now. It's opened the eyes of now when it comes to when you're hosting games as a team. You need to have everything stocked in that ambulance. The first aid has to be on point. It is really sad for the sports fraternity, I mean the football fraternity, losing such a young man, because when you look at the body wise, he's still young, he's not heavy.
Very
Yeah.
young.
So it is so sad. Yeah.
This thing
May his
here
soul rest
brings
in peace.
it brings this question into the spotlight. You know, people are saying that these referees really tested. Do they really pass through this proper medical test? All I know is that FUFA has already had these tests. They call them the COPA test. These referees are passed through their paces. They have they're timed. They do all that as a physical person. The ref and the linesman, they have to have the kind of pace as the players. Even earlier this year, they had a total of 69 referees who engaged in such a drills. Yeah, top speed over 30 meters in a given second. That means 30 meters. That is if you're running from the center line to the box. That's roughly 30 meters. They did direction agility, change of direction agility. They called it CODA, which is the ref. They do a lot of training, and assistant referees, especially the linesman, they go through what we call referee intermediate endurance test. So this player was, we know very well he had passed the test. He was fit, but when you mentioned that he was brought in as a last-minute replacement, I mean, do we have a specific number of games that these linesmen are supposed to officiate, or they don't? I don't know. There's something really lacking, especially with the referees' office in terms of really managing these refs. The way players are managed, refs should be refs and linesmen, because the ref runs 90 minutes, almost like a player. So
Yeah. They're managed so well, and of course the games they allocated the games so well by their bosses, by, let me say, the supervisors, the referees committee. everything is on point. But it so happened for this game, remember Villa was playing against, I think, Maroons, where they drew 1-1. And the assistant referee of that game was again assigned the Villa versus UPDF game. You understand? So they were like,
partiality.
in order not to cause in order not to cause issues with the fans of these different teams, we can't assign you this game. Because the referee was explaining that it happens even in FIFA, like it happens once in a while, not like every now and then, it happens once in a while. The back-to-back games of these guys being assigned back-to-back games, yeah. So it was like, it just happened, but it happens once in a while. So the replacement was that gentleman who passed on. But they did. I was told they did the tests. They always do those fitness tests as well as possible.
Beginning of season, they all do that. Yeah. It's like a pre-season also for them.
He had passed the test. He had passed all the tests to be fit for these games. But it is God's plan sometimes. You can't say much. At times it's God's plan, man. When your day comes, it does come. That's why sometimes people say life is too short. You have to enjoy it, man. Don't always be sad about what's happening. That very day I was indoors. The way I hit the bathroom to shower to go watch basketball. Like I was a thief. I was like, yes, that on the I left my place. I rushed to just go watch basketball for MC. I'm like, just go watch the division basketball. I could let me just be busy this evening. And that's what I did.
All right, may so rest in peace.
Let me stay indoors today. Not going to watch basketball, no nothing. Let me not even playing. But that shocked everyone. But may so rest in peace.
All right, absolutely. So let's move into the nitty-gritties. Yeah, we'll start with the UPL. We'll start with Chitara. I don't know what you make of Chitara. It's still a shaky start for Waswabosa, but he came out and told the fans that they should really be patient. But for us, we'll look at what really transpired in Hoima regarding Chitara. A lot of people are saying that management signed extra players. They interfered with the coach's tactics. That is, I'm talking of Brian Senyondo. I mean, they got people say they got over excited and they were signing lots of players. And right now the team has no cohesion. Looking at the investment they put in, we talked about the stadium, playing on the continent. I mean, they lost to URA, a game that they had quite ample time to prepare for. And URA is not also not doing well, but they lost to URA 2-0. What do you make of Chitara under Bossa?
They had their chances first and foremost. They had two big chances in that game. Two big chances. Remember when the keeper of URA made a blunder, and of course Omedi got the ball as if he was scoring, as if he was passing it to Utaro. Utaro missed that goal. Then there was another chance whereby Jude Mugabe also missed a free goal, of course. Yeah, but of course, in that game against URA came with the thing of like, even Isabi was like, my job is on the line. I need to win this game. At the end of the day, was also under pressure as a coach. Bossa was like, my job, I've just gotten this job. Whatever the result is, please give me time. I'm trying to build the team. Yeah, but for once I saw the love, the agility from the Chitala players putting in the effort of like, we need to win this game. But things turned the other round, of course, conceding that goal, that first goal, then a penalty that they conceded. So at the end of the day, let's give Boss enough time. Let's give Boss enough time so that he can do something about it. But all in all, Chitara is struggling, and their next game a tricky one because they're versing Stars who are struggling as well. Yeah, so it's going to be a tricky game for Chitara.
Yeah, before we move on
But
to
I'm
this,
just happy when they let go when they let go of the coach, they brought in the new coach with a different technical committee, new technical committee. Nothing like this team doctor said around, the fitness coach has said around. No, a different technical committee. So this technical committee and the coach himself, it's now upon him to make sure the team is aligned so well. And with what Bossa, we know is a winner. He's a winner. He has won games before. He's a champion as well. So I know he can change the team around and we start seeing results as well, because that team is one of the best teams we have in Uganda with serious players, good players. They have right now the top scorer of the national team, Omedi. Yeah, he's on the team and he's delivering on national team. They've got Jude Samgabi who's also delivering as well on national team. They've got more experienced players as well on the club level as well. So the team is complete. All they need is just sit down with the manager, go through their problems, and you know what? Of course, the brand at last came out and said the players they signed weren't my players I wanted. It was the top management signing the players, not me. I was like, but at first you said you knew about these signings. Now you're busy changing goalposts. You know, these coaches, they fear to utter out these issues, you know? He came out and said later.
He's in charge. He told us very well he's in charge. The squad is in charge of the squad.
He came out and said it later. Yeah, he's in charge.
Absolutely, yeah. So that is we yet to see
it's just funny.
how Express performs. This is another game. You know, last episode we played Coach Mbalangu's statement after winning against Wakiso. He was flamboyant. He talked about leading Lions. He talked about everyone who comes to this ground. You know, Neck is on a rise. Only to go to Lugazi in the forest, and they lost to Neck. A solo goal by Semgugu. Very nice goal, powered through the defense. Okay, there was some mistake from the back, but did you see that coming? Because everyone thought.
Yeah, it's.
Yes, go on.
You know, it was a tricky game. It's a tricky game because Lugaz has just gotten their new manager. Yeah, their new coach as well. Apart from the lady who made history by beating Express in our first game in the UPL.
I just say he beat Beckham.
That's a record on, and it won't change. It's a record on, and it won't change. You can see was beaten comfortably 1-0 by Lugazi, but the person who won that Express was beaten comfortably. But the good thing, it was the lady who won that game, and it's on record and it's in history. For this one, it was their first game again with the new management at home. You know, and Ibalangu was beaten comfortably because 1-0. 1-0 is, to me, is a comfortable win for Lugazi. Lugazi is trying to win their games, which is not happening with other clubs. Yeah, if you're beating a top leader 1-0, what does it say?
1-0,
I can beat even the other big team, because the last simulation happened there was their first game against Chitara. They were beaten, I think 3-0. It was
3-1.
A comfortable win for Chitara.
Yeah, 3-0.
But now
3-0, yeah.
going to Lugazi is another battle now. Getting a win from there is hard. Yeah, you're drawing Vipers, getting a point from there is hard now. But all in all, I'm just happy for Lugazi, because now that after firing the coach, they've won their 2 games. After firing the coach, they fired Sempija. So what does it say? Was it the problem?
Sure. If your assistant can come and win the game.
Yeah.
Your assistant can come and win the game, yeah.
So it says a lot.
Yeah. Anyway, Seni Balagu came and he was yesterday. I saw his press conference. He was a bit humbled. He was talking about they had mistakes and they will not have those mistakes against. I think they're playing. Who are they playing? Yeah, Yeah, but they're playing home, and he was talking about the mistakes they had, and they're rectifying them. Yeah, talked about Tembo coming back. I think he was missing Tembo in the midfield there. He's a bit of a fighter. Yeah, talked about Data not being on the squad, still nursing an injury. So basically, that is what NEC is really up to. We'll talk about this game, KCCA versus Maroons. This is Abdallah Mobile ball. Goals were okay. You saw the goals. I mean, has this really made KCCA's intentions clear? They're gunning for the title this season. I mean, with that 5-0 win against Maroon, I mean, they suffocated Maroon. They suffocated them. Their game, I mean, you could think that KCCA was running more faster, more yards than even Maroons. Get all the goals were coming in from all over the place. All the Mayanjas, Saidi Abu Mayanja. You're looking at even Nana scoring his first goal, and Ashraf Mugume. To me, I would think Ashraf Mugume is well suited in the midfield than Joel Serunjoji. That midfield of Ashraf and Anukani, it's an attacking midfield. It's a very attacking midfield, and if they continue with this, I think they'll score many goals. What did you make of that game?
Of course, it was a comfortable win for KCCA, and the KCCA fans are so excited with the kind of football being displayed by the young lads. You saw Mayanja scoring a goal, and the mom was busy screaming on TV, Omana wange, praising God over that. To me, it says a lot, because you're seeing young lads coming up and playing football. But there's someone who was outstanding by in that game.
Who?
Is it called Ijara? Is it called Ijara?
Ijara, the midfielder, the youngster. It was his debut by the. I think he played in that position of Joel Serunjoji. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, that was it's called Brian Ijara. Yeah. It's called Brian Ijara. That was actually, he got a yellow card in that game. But everyone said he was the man of the match. The way he played that midfield, of like, Mugume was going up front, Mayanja was going up front, and Nukani was going, but for him, he was just playing the number 6 of like N'Golo Kante, number 6 of like, when the defenders go, I can stay back and I defend.
Linking up play from the defense to the attack.
Yes, true. Yeah, that was the difference in that difference was there in that game, because everyone was like, man, truth be told, Abdallah Mobidu is doing a good job with these kids now. He's now trusting them. We are seeing the KCCA of Mike Mutebi coming back.
Yeah.
Because it was his debut as a young man, and guess what? Everyone was if you could see the social media, the name was just Brian Ijara. I was like, oh, this kid will play good football. Yeah, it says a lot where people are talking about you. On your debut, yes, you have a yellow card, but the kind of game you played for 90 minutes, playing interesting game and winning balls and going to tackles and doing everything. But with the game we played, of course, with the game KCCA played, you saw the goal scored by Mayanja, how it was a tic-tac kind of goal. The kind of goals KCCA they've been scoring for those years, and it's now back.
Brilliant.
The flair of the game, how the ball is moving. You just end up enjoying the game. You be like, man, truth be told, it's now the only unbeaten team in the Premier League, Uganda Premier League,
deserving,
and it's still standing. Yeah, because the next game is against Vipers, and of course the assistant coaches of Vipers was watching the game. Of course, he can't be a full-time coach; he's still assistant coach. He was watching the game as well, seeing what's happening. Of course, we are going. Ayala, of course, Ayala was around. Ayala was around, yeah. So KCCA played a good game against Maroons, and it was a comfortable win. No noise about that.
Dominant win, yeah. Yeah, so we'll talk about this one more game before we proceed. The Bright Stars Bull. I mean, okay, Bull is resurging. Yeah, it's winning these games, but I mean, it should be panic time for Bright Stars. I mean, this is. What do you think? Let me even check out some.
No, I can't say. I
Hmm?
can't say it's panic. I can't say it's panic time because we saw such things happen last season. I think they went 5 games without winning any game.
Last
Bright
season.
Stars, and of course, yeah, and of course they came back and started winning games. And the decision they made by firing their coach, I expected it because I was telling my colleague, my good friend, my brother Ian Mutenda, I'm like, soon you're firing your coach. As a TD, soon you're firing your coach. He's like, why? I can't do that. Guess what? He fired the coach and he's the interim coach. And I told him the bad thing, you can't fire yourself. You can't fire yourself. If,
I didn't know that.
you know, I told him, but you can't fire yourself because you're the technical director. So you can...
You should get a coach. Ian
but
should get a coach.
Of course, I'm happy. Is the interim coach, and the good thing is going to coach only one game. That's against Chitara, and they have 2 weeks of rest. That's international break. After this game of Chitara, they have the international break. So in those 2 weeks, I'm sure they can easily look for a coach who can replace the coach what they fired, because Ian is the interim coach. He has the experience. He has a CAF. I think he has a CAF B certificate as a coach. We saw him coaching Hope at one time. He has been with Bright Stars for some good years, from assistant coach now to technical director. So he has been with the club for a good time, and he has the experience of the Ghana Premier League. Because sometimes when you watch Bright Stars games, he's always on that touchline screaming at the players, doing everything. I told him one thing, please, either leave the job of the TD and become a coach, or instead to the TD role, because man, at times when people forget your coach because you're the one screaming at players.
Absolutely. Anyway,
but generally, I'm waiting for his first game against Chitara this week. I'm just waiting for that game. If it was in Kampala, I would have gone to watch the game. But
yeah, sure, it's going to be a tricky game.
Remember,
Bossa needs the first home win.
And Ian says, I need to win this first game. Because you know what guys were saying? Guys were busy saying we need to watch him coach because of the way he can make noise on TV, analyzing sports. A sports pundit. From a sports pundit to interim coach.
Yeah. I wait for the Kaburas to really critique him. Really. If he loses that game, they should really critique him.
I can't wait for that day. I'm going to scream. When are they playing? First round?
Let me check.
Is it on Thursday?
They're playing on the 8th. 8th is when? 8th could be this weekend.
They're playing Friday.
Yeah.
They're playing on Friday.
Yeah, but as if Chitara is home.
They're playing on Friday.
Okay, yeah, they're playing on Friday.
Yeah, Chitara is home.
Okay.
Yeah, Chitara is home.
Yeah, Chitara is home. Yeah, they should win this game. We should win this game against. So this is Chitara's season. They lost against Bull, lost against Mbarara, drew with Villa. Games are really hard for them. They played Villa, they played KCC 1, they lost 0-1, drew with Police, I think 1-1, lost to URA. These are small margins. I think they can really perform very. It's a good team. I think Bresta is a very good team. It's only that they're having just maybe team cohesion, just small things like that. I'm sure they're really motivated very well, very organized. They have a very good technical team. I mean, young team, young players. They should really be able to perform against Chitara, especially the shaky Chitara, the way it is, still wobbled. I expect them to at least pick a point from that game, Ian's first game. So yeah, let's move on. Let's talk about the upcoming fixtures, especially the big game, that is KCCA versus Vipers. I'm sharing. These are their stats. Let me first share their stats. They are head-to-head, very tricky head-to-head. So actually, KCC has had the better of Vipers. especially last season they won home and away. They won the games home and away. You could see that last season KCC was surging. Actually, if it wasn't for their bad start last season, they would really be contending for the title. So today they're playing Vipers. Vipers, remember, went to Mbarara and won that game. A very tricky game in Mbarara, 3-1. Remember, all of us said that the best they can get is a draw. But surprisingly, they won that game. Of course, they got 2 penalties. You know, those away games, and some fans were discontented. Social media was saying that the 11th man was the center referee and all that. But that was a very remarkable win, especially from Mbarara for Vipers. It also showed their intentions for the title. But playing KCCA, a high-flying KCCA, the Abdallah Mobile Ball, this is a very huge game for both teams. Who do you think wants it more?
Of course, Vipers is at home, but KCCA wants to be like, you know what, we still need this unbeaten run. Yeah, because I'm sure they want to go as far as finishing the round, because both teams are on form and they're delivering.
Yeah,
so we anticipate
Hudson, you had gone off. Please give me your take on that game. Submit your take again. You had gone off.
Oh, I'd gone off.
Yeah. KCC versus AC Vipers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be an interesting game. And of course, both teams are on form. With individual players of like Alan Okello being on fire, seeing Saidi Mayanja doing crazy things in that midfield as well for KCCA. Waisu has been silent. I don't know what's happening to him. Since he went to South Africa, then he came back to Uganda. He's not the same player we saw when he was still at Vipers. Those years is so different from what we saw. But hope he wakes up and he starts doing his things he does. But of course, Bright being an midfield of KCCA is from Vipers, and of late doesn't come off the bench like how he used to come off the bench. Vipers is a starter at KCCA, and we know he's now bring back his form and his delivery. He's putting up a show. So we expect an interesting game from the two teams, because both teams are on form. The players are on form, but the players are also on form.
Hello?
Let me hope the refs don't spoil the games by issuing an early yellow minutes. Yeah? Can you get me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go on.
Yeah. I'm saying let me hope the refs don't spoil the game
Obsession
by
is key.
awarding the red cards as early as possible. Yeah, obsession is key in that game, because to me I would call it the game of first round. To me, I call it the game of first round, because the fire both teams have got size a lot, because they're all on form. KCC wants to maintain the unbeaten run. Vipers says, you know what, we started slow. We need to come back strong and we need to win these games. Nokero says, you know what, you didn't sign me. Vipers signed me, but I need to prove a point to you guys that though it's my home club, but I can easily score goals against you. Yeah. So at the end of the day, we expect a very interesting game over the weekend and good results coming from both teams. But I would say I'll give it KCCA winning that game. Even if it's 1-0, that's enough for KCCA.
For me, I'm looking at the draw, and one of the key players at Vipers is Alan Okello. I mean, what a remarkable! He's joint top scorer with IMBC with Seri Arigumao, Alan Okello. I mean, from a midfielder, I mean, this could be one of his best seasons coming up for Alan Okello. He has 5 goals so far and close to 4 assists. Yeah, he's the MVP right now. I mean, he could be really leading the race for MVP right now. He could claim to be the MVP right now, Alan Okello.
Yeah.
I'm saying one of the key players from Vipers will be Alan Okello. I mean, he's leading the scorers chart. He has 5 goals so far, and most people would say he's leading the race of MVP, the most valuable player, the best player of the league so far. Looking at the goals he has scored, the assists he has scored, performing on the national team with assists. I mean, he's the best player right now in the country.
True. Is a
Hello? I don't know why you're breaking. You're off and on. Well, yeah, we've lost Hudson. Let me see. Yeah, so basically, let me first read for you the head-to-head. Last season, KCCA won the head-to-head, both home and away. The game at hello, Hudson, you back?
Yeah, I'm back.
Oh,
I'm back.
yeah, all right. So yeah, I was trying to make the case for Alan Okello being the best player so far in the country.
Pardon?
I was trying to make the case for Alan Okello being the best player so far in the country right now.
Is the most on-form player right now in the country. Is the player with the form, leaving the Mbara City striker who is scoring crazy goals.
Yeah,
Alan Okello is the most right now. Is the most on-form player right now in the country. Yeah, and people of course, when you watch his games in the Uganda Premier League, you watch his games at the national team, you see that he's now picking up from where he had stopped when he was at KCCA, when he was at Chibuli. So he's now picking up and he's doing the needful. He's now doing what he's supposed to do as a player, and you're seeing good results coming out of him. You're seeing the football is trying to change. His form is getting back, and of course, people, I'm happy and excited to see excited with what he's doing, and positive results coming from him and the club as well, which is a big plus to our football generally in Uganda. With such talent picking up and delivering, it's a plus to Ugandan football.
Absolutely. So these are the top scorer as with 5 goals. Ivan Imbisiwe 5 goals. Alan Okello 5 goals. Charles Luanga. For Charles Luanga, you'd say it was just a good day at office when he scored 4 goals against UPDF. But Seri Arigumao is a consistent. The Seri Arigumao is the player that we should really keep an eye on. I mean, if you're selecting the Chan team, I mean, this is a striker that we're talking of strikers, on-form strikers, if you leave alone the Derek Nsibambi, but Seri Arigumao should really be on that team for the Chan, for the local players. Him and maybe you talk of defenders like Mujuzi. Yeah, Mujuzi and Mahmoud of KCCA, they have performed very well, better than even Ronaldo T and Najib Faisali.
You know, that Chan team is going to be so tricky and so interesting as well. Of course, with the form these players have got, we shall see what comes out of that team.
The team.
Absolutely. Yeah, generally, it's going to be it's going to be a good start. It's going to be a good start. A good interesting Chan team, and we shall see positive results at the end.
So anyway, before we move on to basketball, you know, Uganda will be playing South Africa on the 11th. Yeah, so this is an upcoming fixture. Both teams just need a draw to really secure a place for AFCON. What do you expect of this game as before you move to basketball? These things Zimba profile.
All I need is just a break that game, nothing else.
paperwork ebyekisiru.
You don't need like
They are building a profile
open attacking
y'omusajja.
football,
And of
like
course,
entertainment
We
football,
also saw
since
the denial letter.
like the one that happened in South
it's
Africa.
not open attacking football because now the kind of football we play is no longer like, let me sit back and relax. The sit back and relax was happening in South Africa, but happens after we scored, we were leading them and we tried to contain them until the last dot, until last minute. The football lately we play is we attack, Uganda attacks, and we enjoy being with that ball and passing the ball so well as we're attacking.
All those topics.
But to me, as a person who needs to qualify for AFCON, all I need is just a draw in that game. Of course, South Africa is coming strong because they're bringing in their senior players joining the team as well. But the one point will help me a lot. The one point will help Uganda a lot. But still, we need a win because we're unbeaten at Nambole now. Unbeaten at Nambole, and we need to maintain that. Maintain that.
Absolutely.
So at the end of the
Thank you.
at
Anyway,
the end of the day, just need wins. Just wins.
So anyway, let's move on to
just need
basketball. JKL Lady Dolphins
So,
finished
truth be
sixth.
told, you're going to enjoy that game. But now, I'm waiting for the Salmon team, which might happen this week. Waiting for this.
No, go on. You're talking of the go on.
I'm saying I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the team which is going to be selected. The Salmon, the 23-man team for the Cranes. We're waiting for it. But of course, we expect we won't see any big changes into that squad. That squad, we shall see the same players, and nothing big can come out. Of course, on form players like Mohamed will stay on, John Sabiga will stay on, Alan Okalo will stay on. You know, there's no big difference into that squad. Of course, we might see one or two players from Vipers. If it's not Alan Okalo, of course, has to be on. They may bring in, of course, Kalisa might be on, but there's no big difference. All the players might come from outside Uganda. So generally, the team they've used in these qualifiers hasn't been bad and it has been delivering. So at the end of the day, the coach has maintained the same team. He shouldn't give us surprises because the team has gelled so well and we need results from this team. So at the end of the day, the results come. And by the way, I was told that they've laid their big given crazy bonuses, and not these small bonuses, crazy bonuses of like every win matters.
I had 50.
That's why they have the love. They are playing crazy football.
They were getting 15 mama. Good money. Good money. Well done, Fufa and Magogo. So now let's move on to basketball. JK Dolphin. I mean, I don't know. I had really high hopes for JK Dolphins in Zanzibar.
Yeah.
They finished 6th at the WNBL Zone 5 qualifiers. Their last game, they lost against Equity Bank, 59-56. They won games against is it Vijana? Oh, yeah, they won 2 games in Dar es Salaam, lost against Al Ahly. I mean, how would you make of their campaign in the WBLA qualifiers, Zone 5?
It wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad start for them because, of course,
Was it their first outing?
The 5 players. The second outing.
Okay.
Last year they went to Rwanda. They didn't make it to the top 3. They actually top 4. Top 3, like top 3. This time around they were number 6, of course. It's the second time trying to qualify for that tournament. I would say one thing. They started strong with a 5-woman team because there were 5 players who played that game against the team from Burundi. There were 5 players only, but they won that game comfortably. And of course, they won their second game as well. Then they played against Al Ahly, which was a tough team. They lost that game, and again they played the quarterfinals game was against Reg, which the Rwandan team, which they lost to as well. But I would say it wasn't a bad campaign for them. because of the way they prepared themselves. It wasn't like they prepared themselves so much. No, I would say that because you reach a point of like some of the players used the plane and some used the bus. That's why we saw in the first game there were only 5 players who stepped on. Then the others came in later, and they played the second game. But I'll give credit to Becky Longom with the kind of basketball she played in the 3 games she played, because she was a big piece into those games. She was in double figures as well, both rebounds and points. Generally, it was a good game for the girls, and they got the experience. I know they will come back their home strong and ready to take on other teams as well into the league when the league tips off. But it was a good experience for JKL. Hope next time they prepare themselves better and they make some additions into the team, because when I was watching the Rage team has got more professionals even the local players. But these are players from Rwanda. They'll say these are born and raised in Rwanda, so they have more pros than even the local players. We saw it even with APR of Rwanda, because for them they have the thing of like, we have to go far, we have to win this championship. So that's how it is.
Do you have anything with to do with the Div basketball?
Of course, over the weekend games happened. The game I watched was on Friday, when Victoria University Crocs was taking on Res Life Saints. And of course, Res Life Saints lost that game to Victoria University Crocs. It was an interesting game because these are teams fighting. These are teams who want to be in better positions as the playoffs go on. The final results for that game. Looking for them. Give me a minute.
I didn't know Div. I didn't know Div 1 they also play like a league, full league.
Yeah, it's a league. There are over 16 teams. The final results of that game, it was 61 Victoria University, 40 Res Life Saints. That was the final result of that game. Then was earlier there was Miracle Eagles, which beat Entebbe Archers 71-42. That was on Friday. Then of course we had different games on over the weekend on Saturday, with Amazon being beaten by Budo. The kids of Budo beat Amazon 61-47. There was also Summit beating Falcons 50-59. That was an interesting game. UPDF dramatic game up against Womo Flames, because the game had two overtimes, not one but 2 overtimes.
Wow.
You know, and of course, actually 3 overtimes. There was a 3rd overtime as well, and the game was won on the buzzer. Because the game ended 107 and 101. 107, 101.
It was just time.
You know?
Time.
That's how interesting the game was. Because
wow.
I always tell people they need to watch lower division basketball. They miss a lot.
Yeah, you always say it. Yeah,
they
you
miss a
always
lot
mention it.
because they will be like, okay, you've enjoyed basketball. It was it's so interesting.
Anyway,
basketball is so interesting.
Let's move on just because of the time.
Yeah.
Let's move to
of course
EPL.
this week we have games tomorrow.
Okay, go on.
Tomorrow that
Go on. Yeah.
Tomorrow the games there, of course, Falcons will be taking on Diamonds in the Sun. Then Womo Flames will take on Res Life Saints. That's tomorrow. Then Friday we have Tropical Royals taking on Summit. Then Res Life taking on Night Riders. So that's how it is for Lower Division. Of late they're playing Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So they're trying to make sure that before the festive season comes, the games are done. That's why they're pushing the game so hard.
All right, absolutely. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. That was basketball exclusive. Let's move to international sports. We'll start with the big news of Arsenal. Arsenal's key architect Edu set to depart. Actually, he departed. A lot of people were saying there were some things that were happening in between there. There were some power struggles between the board and Edu, and he was involved in very many transfers. And I was seeing a very interesting list that, okay, we credit him for signing these players, but they were showing me the players he missed on signing. The players he had approached, but he did not sign them. There was Siemens, very many players. And he was involved in the let go of Mesut Ozil. He worked on their wage structure. They reduced on the wage on Ozil. He did a lot of work with Arsenal. Actually, since he came, that's when Arsenal started competing for the title. What do you make of Edu leaving, and what's the significance of his departure into Arteta's project?
He was with the club for 5 years, and in those 5 years, the club has risen up to the top. It's now for the past 2-3 seasons the title contenders, and they're always losing the championship when towards the end of the season, like 2-3 games remaining, that's to lose the championship. It says a lot with the players he signs and the way he has run the club as a top manager of the club. Credit goes to him
Sporting
with
director.
the job he has done, because sporting director, because now with the way he signs players, with the way the club has been running now, Arsenal is back on top. You know, it's a discussion people talk about a bit like, okay, Arsenal has lost 2 games, so what next for them? You know, it's what is Edu cooking? You know, those things next season, what will Edu bring on board? Which players bring on board? It says a lot. It says a lot with the kind of job he has done, and credit goes to him. Of course, he has gotten a good offer. Offer, and this also involves like him running Nottingham Forest as well.
Wow.
You know, is getting the money is getting is 3 times more than the money has been getting at Arsenal. You know,
Arguably, he's one of the best sporting directors Arsenal has ever gotten
so
since
that says
Arsene Wenger.
Yeah.
Do you think it will affect?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you think it will affect?
So I would say, no, it can't affect him, because now the players they've been signing are below 25 years, not above 25 years, and Arteta is building a team as well, because you know it's not the sporting director who does that job. We even bring in the manager, because manager says, yeah, he can fit in my system, he can fit in my system. You know,
absolutely.
So I would say, you know, these guys don't act like how these other guys act, like our local guys act, man. Because the coach can tell you, man, I wasn't involved in the business, and you're like, what? This is shocking. For them, a player to just come to the club. Yeah, a player to come to the club, man. There's a process.
The coach must see the player. The same thing with Richard Malley in Ballon, where he said that he just saw a player in the dressing room in the Ham Stadium, like at hani akurese hani akusainize nga ino mujozi aina license. So anyway, that's
I wish you all the best, though we are going to miss him as Arsenal a lot. He's our legend, but we're going to miss him a lot. So wish him all the best, I would say that.
Okay. Yeah. So anyway, before you go, as you summarize, please, I want you to comment on Ruud van Nistelrooy's performance and Ruben Amorim. What should he expect at Manchester United? Because now we have seen Jose Mourinho, David Moyes, Van Gaal, you've seen Ten Hag. What do you think Ruben Amorim will really bring in this
Manchester United team, or does it need a complete overhaul? Just in 2 minutes. Yeah.
I would say I would say we need to give him time. His first game is over the weekend. That's the first game. Not even midweek, but over the weekend. So we need to see what he has for the team. Is he bringing back Mount into the starting 11? Are we going to see a different centre back, different defense setup as well? Are we seeing some different midfield as well? Or that we shall see, or that when he plays his first, I would give him roughly 4-5 games. Then I get the answer to that, to what he can do for the team. Yes, then I decide. For Van Nistelrooy, of course, he got a win against Leicester in the Carabao Cup. I can't talk about the Carabao Cup so much because
he almost got one against Chelsea in the
Leicester.
EPL.
Yeah, against Chelsea, it was a good one. Of course, I saw hitting of the post like 2 times from Manchester United. Your so-called senior player Garnacho missing is a goal. I don't know what's up with your boy. You overpraise him, but at times he's a normal player. Sometimes I be like other years Amadi than using him. You know.
For me, I'm an Ahmad fan. Ahmad is better. Very technically gifted, mature.
Yeah. Then I'm thinking of like, is Sancho coming back in January as well? Will he work in hand with the coach, the new coach? So all that is Mugweri coming back to the team as a starter as well in central defense. So all that we shall see what the coach has for the team and what he has to offer. I can't try to review him or analyze him right now. I'm waiting for the 5 games I've given him. If I say big difference, I'll be like, okay, he has brought something different to the club, and the club is going to move further and further. But Manchester is now like Liverpool. Those days, remember Liverpool when they had like over 7 managers before they got Jurgen Klopp. This is what is happening now. Before you settle down, they'll be moving around looking for the coaches. So wish them all the best. And all I know is you somehow it will take him time to pick up something.
All right, that was our show today. We really appreciate your viewers. I was with Hudson Mugweri, my co-host, my fellow pandit. Thank you for your time, and for our viewers, thank you for following and watching. See you till next time.